Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Louise Huber begins now.
24 hours on from a stadium cash splash, State Labor leader Rebecca White has slapped down claims she's been humiliated by the Prime Minister. Instead, insisting their relationship remains strong as hospitality leaders label the development a game changer.
Consistent in her staunch opposition to the controversial stadium project, Rebecca White isn't wavering in her opinion after Anthony Albanese's public bipartisan display.
This is one thing we don't agree on, and I've been very clear in my conversations with the Prime Minister about why that's the case, and it's simply because it's not the right priority for Tasmania.
Instead, taking aim at the Premier for putting forward the idea in the first place.
It was Jeremy Rockcliffe who went to Canberra, who made the argument for money to come to Tasmania for that project above health, above housing and above priorities like addressing the cost of living.
But with the cheque now signed, it appears Jeremy Rockcliffe isn't interested in playing political football.
Can I really implore all our members of Parliament, just take the politics out of this.
Meanwhile, for our local publicans pouring frothies on the waterfront, the announcement is a welcome one to bring in more foot traffic.
I've got no doubt that having the stadium here, very close to Salamanca in the CBD, would be magnificent for our business.
Tourism heavyweights are also confident there's a significant economic boon to come from the investment.
Those visitors that come in are also going to spread out across the state. They're not just going to come here for a specific event and leave. They're going to spend a couple of days in Tasmania and spread around. We know that happens.
It's understood Tasmania's AFL licence will be handed over on Wednesday, with the idea to see the team competing in the league by 2027. Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
Meanwhile, the Premier has defended his government's record on health spending in the wake of yesterday's Macquarie Point Stadium announcement. Jeremy Rockcliffe unveiling his master plan for hospitals in the northwest and asking Tasmanians to weigh in.
He's the man with the plans, but Jeremy Rockcliffe's looking for a local point of view. The state government releasing its master plan for the Mersey and Northwest regional hospitals.
This is about ensuring we have setting up for the future.
The draft documents are now open for the public to have its say.
Can I encourage all Tasmanians, or particularly those that live within the northwest coast, to engage in this consultation process.
Works at the Mersey are already underway as part of a $41 million expansion. The foundations are finished on a massive extension to the building.
Level 1 recovery will be extended out, and obviously ground floor outpatients will also have an extension out the front end.
A new women's and children's precinct, as well as a contemporary mental health facility, are also on the cards for the Northwest Regional. Labor calling the blueprint too little, too late and too conveniently timed.
They've had 10 years to fix it. They haven't done it. And now, the day after they're copping a lot of heat for investing money in a stadium, they're talking about a master plan for a hospital in the northwest.
Defending his government's health spend compared to plans for Macquarie Point.
I spend $375 million every 51 days on health. $7.25 million on health on average every single day.
Feedback on the Northwest Master Plan can be submitted from now until late next month. Annie Green, 7 Tasmania News.
A Tasmanian woman has revealed the frightening impact the skyrocketing cost of living is having on her young family. Stacey Lind has been forced to cut down on groceries and medicines to help feed her children, as she also battles increasing rent rises. The state opposition says it's not good enough and more urgent relief is needed.
I guess it's the same for everybody. Every lease renewal is another rent increase. So it is quite concerning on how we're going to make ends meet.
I spoke with a woman in Rokeby a couple of weeks ago who's also in a private rental, but she's planning to be homeless in 6 months' time because she knows she can't afford another rent increase.
The latest dashboard data shows 4,603 Tasmanians are still in line on the social housing waiting list. Tasmanian medical students have been put to the ultimate test in simulated trauma scenarios. It's all part of their final year of study to ensure they're fully equipped for a fast-paced career on the front line.
Much like the real thing, these doctors in training have the goal of saving a life under pressure. The final year medical students have been thrown into a hands-on situation with a lifelike dummy as part of the University of Tasmania's Trauma Weekend.
1, 2, 3, 9 o'clock.
Forced to respond with urgency.
We've got chicken drumsticks that they get to use, but they get to use the real-life drills that we use for these patients, and so they get exposed to all those sorts of things and things that they may be expected to do.
Developing quick thinking is key when faced with these confronting injuries.
The highlight has been to really break these complex situations into little bite-sized pieces so we can fully understand all the important parts that go into looking after someone who's really unwell.
80% of this cohort will go on to work in the state's emergency departments, with the exercise equipping them with the confidence they'll need on the front line.
It's also very important just to take a breath and realise it's not real and you're practicing for a reason, so that when you are confronted with those situations, you know that you can deal with that.
Grace Evans, 7 Tasmania News.
Back home, one of Tasmania's most loved sporting icons has thrown his support behind a competitor in this year's Baskerville 1000. KNOCKA, who rose to fame on the Cook and More radio show, helping launch an entry based on the 1991 Le Mans race winner. The former car salesman hoping it'll have the same success on the track as he did on the field.
Oh, really? If you're allowed to bet on it, I'd put a fiver on it. I think she's a beauty, mate. She's come up real well up here at New Confidence Motors. And
We have 31 entries at the moment and over 100 drivers. It's our biggest field in nearly 12 months, so we're all looking forward to it.
The race takes place next Sunday. More than 3,000 Tasmanians have thrown their support behind a petition pleading for a cost-benefit analysis of the state's salmon industry. The Northwest for Clean Up Oceans group behind the push, with concerns to be put forward to the government. The petition closed today and will be presented in Parliament by Independent Christy Johnson in the coming weeks. In the TSL, Kingborough remains undefeated after a big win over Lauderdale.
The Tigers' terrific start to 2023 faced a challenge from a Bombers side looking for redemption following Anzac Day. A 3-1 first term, putting the ladder leaders in the box seat. Improving their accuracy in the second, the Tigers stretched the margin to 25 points by half-time. Lauderdale were putting the pressure on, but the visitors met every challenge. Another 4-goal quarter stretching Kingborough's lead to 37 points with a quarter to play. The final term, all Tigers again, powering their way to another big win. Kingborough's William Campbell providing the quarter and game highlight with a goal of the year contender.
Trying to find Carter, Felter, Soupy, Campbell! What a goal, William Campbell!
The Bombers brought to ground by the hungry Tigers. At KG5, North Hobart got off to a flyer against the Magpies. But they were wasteful, kicking 4-6. The Demons finding their kicking boots in the second, jumping to a 44-point lead at the main break. Consolidating in the third, North put the game out of reach to lead by 46 points. Glenorchy, however, dug their heels in the final term with a respectful effort, also winning the quarter. The final margin, 22 points. John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
It was a mixed night for our Northern Tasmania NBL1 sides against Melbourne. The Tawns overcame a determined Tigers outfit, defeating them 83-76. Keely Froling had a night out, recording 10 rebounds and a whopping 38 points.
As much of the shot clock as they can, will they? No, they'll go now. Froling makes 2, draws the extra.
Northwest Thunder, however, slumped to their third loss in a row in Ulverston. A 25-11 first quarter, helping Melbourne record an 84-69 win and keep within touching distance of the top 8. In the TNL, Crips return to the winners list with a win over the Suns, while the Northern Hawks remain undefeated after thumping the Arrows. The Cavaliers remain second on the ladder after defeating Kingston 64-50 at the Silverdome. A 20-goal to 10-second quarter setting up the win for the home side. Hayley McDougall once again standing tall for the winners, scoring 43 from 47 attempts. And at Ulverston, Devon moved within a game of the top four, defeating Corona 62-33.
Good evening. Warmer than average in Hobart today with 20 degrees. And the state's warmest, Launceston 18, Devonport 17 degrees and Burnie 16. Smithton and Friendly Beaches made it to 19 degrees today, Low Head and the Island 17, Strahan 17 and St Helens 18. A chilly start to the day, mostly cloudy conditions in the west and clear skies elsewhere. A large cloud band sits off the east coast of Australia, extending over eastern Victoria and southern New South Wales. Tomorrow, a low off the New South Wales coast extends a trough near northeastern Tasmania, while a couple of cold fronts move over the Southern Ocean. On our waters, variable winds between 5 and 15 knots in northern and eastern waters, northwesterlies 10 to 20 knots in the south and west. Tomorrow becoming cloudy, Hobart possible showers and 18, Dover and Ouse cloudy and 19. Launceston, Devonport and Scottsdale all 17 degrees with possible showers. In the west, Burnie cloudy and 18, showers for Strahan and Stanley and 18 degrees. And to the east, rain for St Helens and Swansea with 17, 16 degrees and showers in Ross. More showers for the west on Tuesday and possible morning fog. Showers extending statewide early on Wednesday morning, then easing and retreating to the west and south in the afternoon. And a reprieve on Thursday, fine apart from light showers in the west and far south. Further afield, sunny in Perth and 24 tomorrow, possible late showers for Melbourne and Canberra, and a sunny one for Darwin and Broome. And at the moment in Hobart, it's 14 degrees and mostly clear. Launceston, it's 11 and also clear. Devonport, partly cloudy and 13 degrees. Hope you're rugging up for this week, Lou. It's going to be cold.
Yeah, bring it on, I reckon. Thank you for that, Annie. And that's all your news for this Sunday evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Kim and the rest of the team will be back with you tomorrow. Have a lovely and safe evening. Good night.